Okay. Before we begin this review for Impact, one thing I want to address before we begin with this show, looks like there is going to be a Rebellion show. Well, it's not going to be on pay-per-view, but we are going to be playing the show next week. This was announced yesterday that Rebellion will be on TV as of Access TV, Twitch, and I believe the Fight Network. It'll be a 2-week event. I believe they may have taped the shows already. Excuse me. I believe they've taped the shows already in I think Nashville, if I'm not mistaken. So I think the show has been taped because I wasn't sure if Rebellion was even going to be happening or not. Because I think one thing that was noticed that last week, I guess I didn't notice, because when a lot of those other events got postponed or, canceled, like Lockdown or that TNA reunion thing they were going to be doing, there was something at the bottom of the screen that someone was getting canceled or whatnot, but you didn't really know if it was going to get canceled for Rebellion, though. So I guess they were planning to wait until further notice, and I guess they figured out an idea. Now, this is how Rebellion is gonna work. It was basically a closed set. Only certified personnel can be there, or I guess the wrestlers that were gonna be on the show. So basically, it's gonna be an empty arena show, because if I'm not mistaken, this would have been the go home show tonight, because the pay-per-view was on the 19th. Like I said, the pay-per-view was the 19th, and I guess it was going to be the go-home show and everything, so I guess they were waiting to plan something until they did it, because I just thought Rebellion was just canceled. Like I said, just due to what everything's going on right now, like every other wrestling show, it has mostly been canceled and not going to be going on. But, like I said, I heard they taped it, and that's why they stretched into a 2-week thing instead of playing it all out in like 8 hours, because I don't think they would have had that much of a time slot on Access TV to do that, because it's already wrestling pay-per-views that are supposed to be going to be changed now. Now I'm probably getting a more Double or Nothing tomorrow night when I do the AEW review, since I just read about that one not that long ago, but I'll probably go over that soon enough, since they had that change. That's not going to be at the same venue. It's going to be in front of mostly no fans, but once again, like I said before, Rebellion is going to be in front of no fans. It's going to be on a 2-week thing with just going to be playing out for TV for 2 weeks. Now, the thing I also read, and I don't know if this is still happening, I know Sami Callihan and Tessa Blanchard said they're not going to be doing the show. I don't think they plan to wrestle during this quarantine. Because I think they said this on Twitter, and I read some articles, because I think Callahan said that, but they still advertised him tonight, but I don't think that match is going to be happening with Ken Shamrock, which we'll get into, but yeah, and I don't think that world title match is going to be happening either if Tessa Blanchard is not going to be on the show. I don't know what they all have planned for Rebellion. I know they announced some matches for night 1 of the show next week, but they didn't really get through all of week 2. So, I get why they got to do it, because I think a lot of wrestling shows may have to get, like I said, I don't think it's a great idea to do all these empty arena shows and everything. I know WWE and AEW been already doing it for weeks now, but, I've been already hearing stuff like what New Japan may be doing it, and then, like I said, right now, Impact's doing it. Don't be surprised if Ring of Honor does it. I don't know. Folks got to get paid one way or another, okay? I don't know any other way. Let's stay. If they got the money like that to pay the wrestlers, and hey, that's all good on them, but I guess they got to find one way or another to pay everybody or something going on with that, because I'm not really sure how long they could sit out like that, because I don't know. It's hard to explain, because it depends how much content a lot of these guys have for their shows. Now, I know some shows like ROH and I think New Japan and others, they'll probably just put out some old matches or something to keep people going. I think the NWA announced something today of what they're going to be doing, too, because I haven't heard about them in a while also. But apparently they got something going on. But I get why Impact, they gotta do what they gotta do. As long as they take safety and do the right precautions, then, okay, go ahead. It's especially just for this, the one-time thing. I don't think they want to waste Rebellion all the way because, yeah, they did have some matches built up into it, and you already had these shows taped and everything, so they had to put something on, because it would have made no sense if they just canceled all out above, but, I wouldn't have been mad if they canceled anything and wait till a later date, because now you got two people. One, the world champion's not going to be on the show, and other one is supposed to be in a big match, and that's not happening either, so I don't know what they plan to do on about that, but yeah, just wanted to go over this whole Rebellion thing and what they were going to do, especially for the next 2 weeks. Like I said, this has already been taped to what I heard, so at least they got out of the way. They did like a marathon taping thing. I'm sure like a lot of companies are doing right now instead of having them fly in live because it would look ridiculous live and everything, so I get why they had to do that. But hey, Rebellion's still happening, so we'll see what comes from this. But like I said, I'm not the biggest idea with this, but in a way I do see why they gotta do it. I'm surprised they're doing it, but I guess if you want to say tonight was technically go home show, which like I said, we'll get into this whole go home show thing, because I forgot it was a go home show until I remember, like, oh yeah, until they played some commercial, but when they promoted, I'm like, oh yeah, Rebellion was gonna be this Sunday, but now it's changed to next Tuesday. But as for the show itself, Impact, we do kick it off with Johnny Swinger, who's going to bring out M. Jackson, the young buck he called him, M. Jackson. And who was this M. Jackson, huh? Someone named Mike Jackson came out. Man, 70 years old. Have no idea who he is. Somebody said he was on WCW Worldwide in 1991. I had no idea who this guy was or anything. And he talks about being in the business for a long time and talk about giving the young guys a shot, and he's a big fan of Impact. And I'm wondering, like, this guy's going to face Johnny Swinger, huh? 70-year-old man. And I got to say, he did good. And I will say this. For a man to move like that, listen, this guy was hitting suicide dives out there. He was actually put off some good wrestler moves. I was like, man, who is this man? This guy's not doing bad out here for 70 years old. I'm surprised he did a suicide dive. That's what got me. Him and Swinger were kind of going back and forth out there, and one thing I was actually got impressed when he did the old school, and he went all the way around the ring on the tightrope, like balance. He went all the way around the ring, okay? And did an old school on him. I was actually surprised to see that, and even tore down the straps, and Swinger ended up rolling him up and getting the pinfall. But I gotta give it up to this Mike Jackson for a match that went on like 5-6 minutes. It wasn't that bad. That could have went bad, especially for someone 70 years old. But any 70-year-old guy can move like that and hit suicide dives and old school, and even taking some bumps out there here and too. Gotta give the man credit, okay? I didn't know who this guy was. I just thought it was just some random guy, and 70 years old, but he was not bad. Guy just kept in great shape, I guess. So, I gotta give some respect to that. He was good even to go against Swinger. The crowd was actually behind him. They even started chanting his name. I think they were chanting Mike Jackson or something. They were chanting that out there, but the fans actually kind of cheered for this guy too. So I was actually kind of impressed. Good on him. That was good, and even the wrestlers in the back respecting him right after when the match was over and he headed back to the back. So good on Mike Jackson to go against Johnny Swinger. That was not bad. That was pretty good. Ace Austin talking about the Mac then for the match at Rebellion. Pretty much talking about where the Mac is right now, what happened to Rich Swann, and how Ace Austin has been since he's been the X Division champion, and that the Mac was going for a tag team, but Rich Swann is hurt. He can't even help his friend, get him to rehab and anything, and everybody wants to call me a scumbag. Well, who's the real scumbag around here? Trey Miguel pretty much walked up there and he says, pretty much called Ace Austin the biggest scumbag in the locker room right now. He says, I still ain't forgot what you said about my mom. And then Ace pretty much took off his glasses and said, how is she? And then they pretty much brawled before they went to commercial. They came back with Ken Shamrock arriving to the building for the contract signing. Basically, Scott D'Amore pretty much told him, if you touch him, the match is off at Rebellion. We got a fatal 4-way tag team match then. Rascals, Triple XL, Reno Scum and TJP and followed by good fatal 4-way tag match, basically a spot fest out there if I want to go that far, but pretty good stuff. I will say AC Romero and that I forget his partner's name, pretty much doing dives out the ring, looked insane, let me say that. But a pretty good match though. Ended up with TJP and followed by getting the win after Ba hit the Samoan drop and TJP hit the frog splash. Pretty much then right after the North came in and held their titles up at them. Excuse me. I guess they're going to be in line for a title shot next. Again, if I'm assuming so. Because I didn't know who was going to be going after the North next for the tag team titles. But I think they most likely will be. Rohit Raju and Gama Singh were in the back pretty much arguing. Raju pretty much talked about how he had a match at Rebellion, how this can help, and then I guess he kind of went out of Desi Hit Squad. Gama Singh said, "You're gonna lead? You can't lead Desi Hit Squad," and pretty much slapped them there, making them be quiet. So this may be more of a dissension now, with Rohit Raju probably breaking out on his own finally and leaving the Desi Hit Squad. Because honestly, I don't think this group has gone anywhere ever since they've been in this company. It's like they tried, but they've always been comedy jokes most of the time. But it looked like Rohit was kind of getting tired of Gama Singh slapping him, and I guess he wanted to venture out on his own, so we'll see what comes from that. We got a cancel culture video, kind of like the same one we saw a few weeks ago with Joey Ryan, except this time it was footage of the Deaners talking and pretty much talking about how, you know, we're here for another season, we're never canceled. Joey Ryan was pissed at production who was playing the video, says, "That's not the video I played. Okay, I wanted, all right? Play the video I gave you." And then they actually played it. It was RVD and Katie Forbes in a hot tub, pretty much say, you know, "Hey, we've been at home trying to stay safe. We haven't been around the fans. That's why we're doing this whole social distancing and everything." So RVD's just hanging in his hot tub somewhere, mostly away from fans or anybody that's around him. I don't blame him. Pretty much chilling. And they pretty much talk about the Deaners, the fans, and RVD pretty much says, "Which one are you talking about?" Well, asking his girlfriend that. And then they start making out then before they went to commercial then right after that. So, yeah, Van Dam and them playing smart. Don't come to any shows. Can't really do anything. Social distance, folks. Rohit Raju went against Hernandez. The guy I haven't seen in a while. He was on that TNA thing about a week ago. But Hernandez, though, surprised Hernandez went over in this for person we don't even see on this show anymore. Last time he was somewhat notable on here was mostly a year or two ago when he was faced what was the new LAX versus the old LAX at the time. So yeah, I can't say know a lot about him between new LAX and I don't know why he was in this match or why he went over, okay? That's the last time I remember him doing something important in Impact. But Hernandez basically won squash match. I don't know why. I guess it's going to be for Rohit Raju to get pissed off since Gama was out there with him. And it looked like he was getting pissed anyway. So this could be a way for him to break up. But if he has a match to pay-per-view, why is he losing to someone that's not even going to be really on the show anymore? And he won in a squash match. I didn't understand why Hernandez went over here. But after they had Madison Rayne's new talk show, Locker Room Talk, which Johnny Swinger was our co-host, and their first guest they had today was Kylie Rae, as she was very happy to be here and with all the people, but Madison Rayne pretty much says, "Listen, that's great, you're the newest knockout, everything's good, but let's talk about you, let's talk about Kiera Hogan. What do you have to say about her? Let's talk about, something to say." She didn't want to say anything bad about her or anything, so no, she's a fan of everybody, but Madison, tell us how you really feel, okay? So they bring Kiera Hogan in, who pretty much start talking about it, saying, like, "I'm going to knock that smile off your face. I'm going to expose you and everything." Kylie Rae pretty much had it up to here since they are opponents at Rebellion. She said that you're not a very nice person and walked out. Kiera Hogan pretty much still argued. Johnny Swinger, I don't know, was doing some weird laughs half the time throughout this whole thing, which was pretty funny, until she ended up leaving and yelling at Madison Rayne since they had a whole thing going on at the time also. So, yeah, Kylie Rae and, like I said, Madison Rayne's new talk show, folks. We'll see where that goes. But, yeah, Kylie Rae and Kiera Hogan do have a match this Sunday. Well, that's Sunday, I meant the pay-per-view. Well, that pay-per-view, Rebellion, next week on TV. Next, though, Ace Austin went against Trey Miguel. good match, especially just to give Austin a win before Rebellion. Pretty good match. He ended up winning by a roll-up, holding the tights on Miguel like he's beaten him before. So he didn't beat him clean. Well, he did beat him clean, but in a way, kind of gives Miguel now. I will say at least they've kind of separated Trey Miguel more away from the Rascal sometimes. Like, he's still in the group, but they do separate him and that do the silly stuff half the time with, getting high in the smoke circle. But, him and Ace Austin had a pretty good match out there. I will say that. Pretty good match. But like I said, Austin up getting a roll up on him, which they then went to the MAC then. Pretty much talking about how, you talked about Trey's mom, you tried to take Eddie's wife, but now you want to talk about me. You want to go off my homie Rich Swann, who has one leg right now. You're beating up a one-legged man. Basically, he's going to give Ace Austin a magic trick when he takes that title away from him and put it on his shoulders then. So, Matt cutting a good promo on Ace Austin. Taya Valkyrie win against Tenille. I guess we haven't seen Tenille wrestle in a while. I'm surprised this match went 3 commercials. Not a bad match or anything. Pretty good. Especially, I think almost like 60 minutes. Solid. I don't know where Tenille Dashwood goes. I guess I don't know what's part of a new gimmick. What's he doing the whole, all good things must come to an end and rise again or something. Basically, like, Tenille's still doing the same gimmick she was before. They've been playing all these vignettes about her still looking like the evil Emma with the sunglasses and the gloves and everything. So what changed about her gimmick, I have no idea, and what's even being changed from it, I don't know. So it's like she's still the same Tenille. Tenille ended up winning after Taya was going to go for, I think, a chair, I believe, but the ref stopped her. Taya went for a move, but Tenille ended up pretty much getting the pinfall over him, which I don't know why they did that, because she has a match before Rebellion, Taya. But pretty much after Taya beat up Tenille then with several chairs, burying her in chairs, then taking a trash can, hitting her in the head with it, burying more chairs, pretty much hitting with a trash can on her then, pretty much beating the living crap out of her, and she could do some move off the top rope while she was buried in the chairs. Jordan Grace came out, hit her with a kendo stick and Johnny Bravo before pushing him away, since they do have to promote that Full Metal Mayhem match. That's why they had the chairs and stuff out there. I don't think Tenille's going to be in it, as someone was saying right now. So I still think it's going to be a one-on-one. But why have Taya lose before the show next week? Makes no sense. I don't understand that, okay? Why have her lose? I don't know. So that is interesting that happened, but we'll see what comes from that. All right, we will see what comes from it. But pretty much then, after we got, I guess this was the last part of the show, the Sami Callihan Ken Shamrock contract signing, which of course he played a video package before it. Shamrock was out there, pretty much didn't talk or say anything. Sami came out, pretty much got the microphone, told Josh Matthews to get out. And talked to Ken Shamrock, pretty much says, look at you can't touch me, the mighty Ken Shamrock. And pretty much Sami started messing with him then, pretty much says, you touch me, the match is canceled, okay? And, you have a lot of accolades in your career. First ever TNA champion, Hall of Famer, everything. Very long career, he says. And that, pretty much that I create stars, I create buzz, I make ratings around here. I don't know about the ratings because I don't know the ratings. And talk about Eddie Edwards right now. Look what I did. The best thing that happened was me hitting him in the face with a baseball bat, which now he's on his best run. I wouldn't go that far with Crazy Eddie saying he's on his greatest run right now. Let's rewind that for a second. But he told Shamrock he's welcome. You should be thanking me. You should just do it. Like, say you're welcome, all right? Well, you're welcome, but like, be thanking me. Thank me, he says. And Callihan pretty much talked about Ken Shamrock's family then, saying he'd been hanging with them a lot, which Shamrock stood up then, and Sami, I guess, struck a nerve from him, and he says, no, like, at the push of the button, one bad thing can happen. I don't think you want to do that. So you need to stand there and be the most world's dangerous bitch. Shamrock flipped the table. Callihan pressed the button, which I guess he hacked the whole show. And next thing you know, Shamrock's in the ring by himself, and these guys in hoods with ICU masks on pretty much appear around the ring and at the commentary table. One was headed to the back. Ken Shamrock chased after him. Scott D'Amore had stopped them and everything, telling them he need to stop. Shamrock saw one of them then, and pretty much he chased behind them. I guess he got in the car and drove off, and Shamrock said, follow that car. But next thing you know, he got a phone called in, which was Sami Callihan on the screen, pretty much telling him to tip the driver. And I guess it was one of those ICU guys, and he disappeared. And the next thing you know, the ICU guys are outside the window trying to tip over the car, which Shamrock is confused of what's going on. So I don't know what was going on with that, with all the hacking and everything. Good promo by Callihan on Shamrock, but very trippy and in with them trying to flip the car. It's not that bad, but odd these ICU guys just appeared out of nowhere trying to flip it. Now, I don't know if Sami Callihan's going to be still part of this Rebellion show, even though they promoted it for next week. So, I don't know if they're going to play that. You know, one other thing I think I may have skipped, I thought that was odd, was that they played some Michael Elgin and Eddie Edwards match from something called GPW in the Middle East. Very strange. I don't know why they played that match. And they had Cage come out to help Elgin win some title. I don't know what that was. I get they got to fill time because I think the world title match is canceled itself. It was going to be a triple threat match, but since, you know, it's been saying that Tessa Blanchard is not going to be leaving the state. I think she's in California and stay in quarantine. She is not going to leave and come out there. So I don't know why they played this match so long. I guess it was to fill time, but I've seen enough Eddie Edwards and Elgin matches for right now. They've both been great to what I've seen, but now I don't need it to happen right now, especially from some random clip somewhere in the Middle East. I don't know what was going on with that, okay? But, and like I said about Callihan, I don't even know if he's still facing Ken Shamrock at this show next week. We'll see what happens between that and the world champion, but, I'm going to assume Callihan was just going to show up. I don't know, but we'll see, because he had a good segment there, in the end with Ken Shamrock, okay? But overall, this is just a way to build the Rebellion. I would call this a go-home show, but I didn't even know it was a go-home show with all the stuff that's going on. I didn't know this was going to be I didn't think it was a go-home show, because, I thought this show wasn't even going to be happening, pay-per-view, but they're going to play it on TV in a matter of 2 weeks. Like I said, I heard it was already taped, so we'll see what happens and how they separate all of this. I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm assuming they got something for this. Well, not a bad show in Impact. Questionable a couple things here and there, though. Don't know why they had Tenille go over Taya. Hernandez being Rohit Raju, even though some of these people have matches on the pay-per-view or quote-unquote pay-per-view show on TV or whatnot. So I don't understand some of what's going on right now. I explained earlier with excuse me, tag match, not tag match, but couple singles matches here and there. But I will say also I did enjoy the Mike Jackson thing. That got a kick. I don't know why. That did really good for a 70-year-old man. Mike Jackson was good out there tonight. So not a bad show they built into this Rebellion thing for next week. But like I said, I didn't know this was going to even a show was going to happen until yesterday. So Rebellion is going to happen. But like I said before, it's already taped. It's going to be a 2-week thing. We'll see what comes from this. I think they got 3-4 matches for next week on the 21st. So we'll see how this spans out in a matter of 2 weeks and if they'll have any more shows after that. And we'll see where it goes. They just got to stay really close. Can't take any chances. And only personnel use only of wherever they're at. I've heard it was filmed in Nashville. So we'll see what comes from this. But other than that, that's my review from Impact tonight. Like I said, we will have a Rebellion pay-per-view by next week, one way or another, part 1. So we'll see what goes from that. But comment, subscribe, tell me what you think about this show. Follow me on Twitter at HoodieKnight890. Tell me what you know about Impact tonight. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace. And what do you think about Rebellion being a 2-night thing for next week also? So I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.